Hello everyone and welcome. Today's trip is kicking off from King Lake. I'm currently in King Lake West, getting my morning coffee and a bit of a snack from a cafe called Flower. From here I'll head into King Lake, go off-road through Tulangi, some off-road tracks, make my way to Lake Eildon eventually, have a look around Lake Eildon. My aim is to find an isolated camp spot for the night, and we'll go from there. So as soon as I finish my coffee and my snack and I'm fueled up, I'll see you on the road. So I've been going off-road for a bit now. It's a lot more slippery than I thought it was going to be. It was raining a lot yesterday. The top looks fairly dry, but as soon as your tyre bites into it, underneath is just sludge. So I'm sliding around everywhere. Going uphill isn't as bad as going downhill. I'm fully loaded on the bike as well. It's not something that I expected to be this bad. Never been down these roads before, so I've got a long way to go. I might have a bit more I can chew this time, but I'm going to find out. I'm going to keep going. When I hit some rough terrain, I ran into some audio issues. I believe the microphone was shifting around in my bag. Apologies for the sound quality. I'll definitely have to rethink its placement for my next video. Finally had a chance to have a pit stop. Gonna get some water, rest up a little bit. The road ended up evening out It wasn't as bad as I originally thought it was going to be. It was at the start, but then it was nice and easy. Got comfortable again, started getting going a bit faster. After my break, I'll continue on dirt roads through to Yea, fill up. If I'm hungry, I'll eat. I'm not sure yet. And then from Yea, start heading down towards Lake Eildon and see if I can find the camp there. See you soon. Up ahead, a grader was at work. This was good news, because I knew the roads would be in good condition. Finally, I arrived at Yea. This gave me a good chance to stop, rehydrate, take a quick break before heading off and tackling more dirt roads. When you're out on a remote trip, always make a point to stop and check to see if your fellow travellers need assistance. You never know when you might be the one needing help. Luckily, this guy was all good, and I was soon back on my way. might not look like much, but the loose rocks on top of the gravel made the descent a lot harder than it should have been. That was definitely interesting, that road. I don't know the name of it. When I was in Yale, I was talking to one of the locals and I didn't want to just take the main road to Alexandra and Lake Eildon. So I told him I want to go down that after Molesworth, turn right down that road. I'll see if I can find the name of the road. Can't think of it off the top of my head now. And the guy told me that it's used by cattle trucks as well, so just to be cautious. To me, that sounded like a positive. If a cattle truck can get through there, my bike can get through there. But as you probably saw, there's not enough room for both. And I was holding on for dear life. I was thinking it's gonna clip my rear bag, but luckily it was all okay. A short time after going through Alexandra, I caught my first glimpse of Lake Eildon. Unfortunately, there was no internet coverage at this campground, so I couldn't book in my campsite. Off I went again, chasing that signal. I have to say, I was pretty ecstatic when I finally got some internet coverage. After setting up my tent, I grabbed my drone and set off to explore. Alright, I finally set up camp for the day, or for the night. Checked out a few campsites, Lakeside campground, that was absolutely packed. A few others on the way, busy as well. I ended up in Devil's Cove campground. I rocked up, there was no reception, so I couldn't book in a campsite. So I had to take off again, go down the road, get reception, internet access, book my campground, come here, set up, and so now I'm just going to relax. I think there's going to be an issue with tomorrow. I think tomorrow's track that I was planning on doing is closed, but I'll have a look tomorrow. For now, I think I'm just going to relax. So I decided to forego the late coffee tonight and have something else, something that will relax me a bit more than coffee. Relax, it's just herbal tea. Helps with sleep, so have a couple of cups of this and just chill. In the morning, I couldn't resist taking a few more shots of the amazing scenery. The next morning, I found out that the track I'd planned to take was indeed closed. Luckily, I discovered a whole network of dirt tracks and managed to avoid the pavement as much as possible. These dirt tracks eventually brought me to the iconic Bonnie Doon. As I was leaving, I came across this legend, and as you can see, he's got a great taste in bikes. Another DR650. Unfortunately, I didn't get his name, so if anyone knows him, or if you're watching, mate, reach out. We'll go for a ride. So yesterday when I was camping, there was an issue with my tent. One of the clips broke, which holds the fly to the inner tent. No issue yesterday because it wasn't raining, no wind. But tonight and tomorrow there's going to be heaps of wind, heaps of rain apparently. And on top of that, the sack which I put my tent in ripped. So yeah, so if it gets wet, it's going to get everything else in the bag wet because it's just loosely chucked in my luggage at the moment, which is taking up heaps more space than it should. But yeah, so change of plans. I will be still going the same route which I was supposed to go, so the same places which I was supposed to go, but different routes. Just going straight onto minor roads, but I'm trying to avoid freeways, minor roads, get to the place where I was going to go, and and get home by tonight. So coming past Jameson, saw this Australian Commonwealth Military Forces Memorial for the Great War, World War One. Yeah, so stop here, good place as any to have a break and have a look around. As much as I enjoy solo travelling, it's always nice to see people around, just in case something happens and you need some help. When I got to Matlock, I was indecisive of which way to go. Left towards Gippsland or right towards Marysville. In the end, I decided to go right and headed to Marysville. I finally made it to Marysville and back to civilization. After spending hours on the saddle riding dirt roads, I was completely exhausted and needed to fuel up, both my bike and myself. This is going to be my last stop of the trip. I'm about 50 k's from home, so after this quick break, I'll head straight home. Today's been a lot more adventurous than I would like it to be. I just wanted to hit some twisties and get home, but the route that I chose ended up being just dirt all the way, so at least 95% dirt road. But I made it, beat the rain, still daylight. I should be home in about an hour, and yeah, I'll live to fight another day. See you on the next trip.